Don't get anyone's face in it, just get like the project. When you get the clay, you're going to toss it. To toss a slab, it needs to go at an angle. That will increase the size. If you do it, I'll show you in the improper way, like this, it's really loud. Please don't talk. It's really loud and it won't increase in size. First time you're warned, second time I take it away. You got a 0 for the project, and you can watch everyone else finish their project. So how you have to toss the slab is at an angle. See how it's almost rolling up? See how it's like flopping? That's your goal. That's what you want. The angle is what will increase your size. And if I'm looking at my template, which is this is how big I need to toss a slab.
Okay. Well,
right?
I got that wrong.
Please stop talking. If it rips, you mush it up and you start again. The more you touch your clay, the more it dries out. And clay has a shelf life. Like, you can't extend it super, super long. So be aware of that as you're working with it. Every time it's touching the paper or touching your hands, it's drying more. Alright, that looks pretty good. Here's my template. Looks pretty good. It fits. When I get my template, I can consider using texture palette. Do you have to use a texture palette? Absolutely not. My preference, my personal preference, is I don't like them. I think when you imprint them and then you make that joinery on the side, the texture palette gets smushed out because you're compressing it, and I don't really like that. But if you did that, you're not going to lose points. That's just my own, what I think I don't like. Use a rolling pin. You got to push hard enough so that your texture palette imprints, but not so hard that it completely decimates your slab. There's my texture palette. Put my template on. I'm going to cut it out. So I use my needle tool. Here's one. Here's two.
When we're actually doing the project, do we get to use a needle pin?
Yeah, all of this next week and the following week, I don't talk at all. You just get up and get what you need and get it done.
I memorize this.
And you can also watch just a nice little video that Kat's making.
Good job, Cat.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to use your name. I have to delete that now.
Oh, really?
So, this is my slab of clay. Obviously, I didn't have enough leftover slab to make my bottom and top for my container. So what I do with that is I mush it up. And if this happens to you, that's fine. Mush it up and then toss it. Day one, you have to make the slab, cut out the template, and join it. So it's a closed form. You have to do that in day one at the end. Right? Nope. Next week and the following week. Today, all you have to do is make your template, alright?
Do we get an apron?
Nope. Alright, so take your template, you put it on, cut it out. This still wasn't big enough, so what I have to do is I have to mush it up and I have to cut it out again. That's one. So consider, if it's really big, you're going to have to do a lot of this, and that will definitely take time. So next week, if like you're working, you're like, oh, I think my stuff's a little too big, scale back a little bit, trim it down. Alright, there's my bottom, or top. To join two pieces of clay, you have to score and slip. Scoring is a scratching process. The more lines you make, the better that seam will be, the less likely it will come apart. on like a microscopic level, it's like super fine. The particles, when they're roughed up like this, they kind of interlock. So that's why you score it versus just having it flat. That's my bottom. And then if I think about this as my edges, the inside bottom piece is going to touch the outside that I've scored up. So I need to score that. Whatever pieces touch, that's what you score. Get some slip. Put it on my seam. Slip is liquid clay. And you're going to join it. So you put it on, put the second edge on, put the third edge on, then put the last edge. And a little big, I'm going to trim it down. And then the insides are going to touch. That will be another seam. You have to score it up and add your slip. Scoring, scratching. So scratch it up. Same thing here, scratch it up. Add my slip. You'd spend a little bit more time. I just want to kind of get through this so that you have some time to work on your template. Put it together. And what I'm doing now is compressing it. I'll show you the inside in 1 second. If you look at the inside, you'll notice there's black lines. See these black lines? Those are known as seams. Seams are really, really bad. The likelihood of your clay separating on those seams, those black lines, is pretty high, either through the drying process or through the firing process. So what you want to do is you want to smooth them out and blend them in. You can use a tool if you want. Any tool you need that looks like it would fit there, you can just smush it in. If your seams are really big, you might want to add a coil. A coil is your second hand building technique. You roll it like a snake. This would be good for design if you wanted to add it later. It's also good for reinforcement. So what you're going to see is an area where I add a coil, as well as an area where those seams have not been compressed and smoothed out. And you'll see that difference in 1 second. See a difference? Left hand side has the coil in it, right hand side doesn't. Right hand side still has those black lines. The black lines are what you don't want. You want to avoid them. You want to blend them in. You also turn it over. The bottom's going to have a seam. Just blend that in. Over. Day one, you have to get your slab made, your template cut, and your lid on. So it's a closed form. Whatever touches, score up. Scoring is that scratching. Same thing here, score it up. Add my slip. Goes on there. What's kind of fun is that someone said, well, it's kind of more circular than square. Once I get this top on, there's air in it, and I can kind of tap it out and make it more geometric. So just like this, you want to blend in those seams. Any holes you see, don't just cover them with slip. Slip is mostly water, so when it evaporates, what will happen? You'll still see that hole, yeah? So from here, you kind of want to, if you want to tap it out and make it more geometric, that would be a cool choice.